Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gavin Major and this is Amateur Reports. Amateur Reports is your gameplays with my commentary, and today we have a submission from Pilot Guy 1000 who is playing in the German Tier 6 tech tree battleship Gneisenau. Now this is a Tier 5 and 6 game of domination on Sea of Fortune. On the enemy team we have a Fubuki, a Bixka, an Aoba, a Trento, a New Orleans, a Gneisenau, Colorado. So, he spawned on the right next to the Alpha objective, and he's got the friendly Le Terrabelle with him, and he's gonna swing it out and start heading around behind this island. It's pretty much a nice, proved maneuver, especially for some battleships and cruisers. The reason being is, especially for the Gneisenau, considering her brawling nature and her accuracy, she wants to get in a bit closer, and she can get in closer without being detected or exposed to incoming fire, then that's for the better. So going back to the friendly team, we have Fubuki, we have that Le Terrabelle, we have a Pensacola, a Helena, an Ismail, a Nagato, a Scharnhorst, a Pilot Guy in his Gneisenau, and a Colorado. So I think looking at the enemy team, things that we might be concerned about. Oh, we have a New Orleans. Can we get guns on? Yeah, we have a clear line of sight. There's the front two turrets fired. We also have the Trento spotted, and we have a battleship off to our left side. Getting a citadel on New Orleans as well, very nice, doing 12,000 damage to her. So even though we fired 4 shots downrange, only one actually hit the target, but thankfully it was a citadel. So anyway, sorry, going back to what's on the enemy team, things that we're probably going to be concerned about were obviously the destroyers. However, looking at the mini-map, it looks like they definitely have one destroyer at the Charlie objective. The other one is obviously probably the Colorados. Even though they're slow, they will hit hard. And looking at the mini-map, they have 3 battleships south of Bravo and 1 battleship south of Charlie. So actually that's quite good news, because now we know where all 4 enemy battleships are. He can flex a bit more on this flank now. He knows he's only up against 2 cruisers at least. And out of those 2 cruisers, only one of them actually carries torpedoes. Both enemy destroyers are now spotted. One's to the southeast of Bravo and one is actually in the Charlie cap. So again, now that really clears things up. We don't have any destroyers over here, so we can almost flex on these 2 cruisers as much as we like. And also all of the enemy ships have now been spotted, so we know that there's nothing more backing up these 2 cruisers. In fact, I'd say that these 2 cruisers are probably in a very precarious situation. Spotted by an aircraft, probably from the Trento. And it looks like the Trento's going to make a dash through this gap, giving the Pilot Guy a nice opportunity, but he picks on the New Orleans instead. But unfortunately, it brackets the target, and the Trento goes and pops her smokescreen. However, the Trento smokescreen is only going to protect the Trento, and the New Orleans does stay detected. So as Y turret swings round, get that fired. Let's see what we can get. It splashes about 100 meters short of the target. A and B turrets fired. Double fire on us. Get that put out. Get another citadel on the New Orleans. We saw that our HP dropped to about 5,000 HP, so New Orleans is nearly finished off already. And it's quite amusing to think that Pilot Guy is already up to about 30,000 damage with only 3 hits on target, 2 of which were citadels. There's the Trento, another citadel with 12,000 damage, and a couple of overpens, unfortunately. Looking at the mini-map, enemy destroyer has been spotted to the east of Bravo. Why the enemy destroyer has not capped Bravo instead of trying to flank battleships is a very, very odd play. Picking on the Trento. Battleship to our front is a Gneisenau. And it looks like the New Orleans is already gone. So that just leaves the Trento and the Gneisenau over here on this flank. And the Alpha objective has been capped by the friendly Le Terrabelle a while back. Looks like part of the guy's getting plenty of support. He's got a Ismail to his starboard side. I think he's got a friendly Nagato to his port side, along with the Laterabel up to his front. And there's another cruiser here. Getting some tickling damage on the enemy Gneisenau as the enemy Gneisenau starts to kite away. However, it looks like the Trento's going to try and peek the corner. Whether that's the right thing to do, the answer's probably no when you have some 15-inch guns looking at you. All 16-inch guns from the Nagato, in fact. Well, it looks like everything's secure here, and so there's two options really. You could chase after the Gneisenau, but the Gneisenau is just gonna keep his stern pointed towards you, keep himself angled. I mean, ideally, if you want to hurt that Gneisenau, you need to be firing HE, get some fires going, try and force whittle him down over time. Or the alternative case here is actually start pushing through into the Bravo objective. Start trying to back up what's happening on the Charlie flank. The reason being is it looks like the Charlie flank is pretty much run out of steam. It looks like the enemy's quite focused there, and amusingly, it looks like the enemy battleships that are at the Charlie objective are sailing towards the east in order to continue to engage the friendly battleship. So therefore, actually, you should be able to push into Bravo quite nicely. It's also worth noting that one of the enemy destroyers has been destroyed, so there's only one left, and there's also that Aoba. Can we recover this? Because it looks like he might drive into the island. Oh, the Aoba's now gone pop. I think you can just about recover this. Nice, nice, nice. So we're up to 61,000 damage with 12 hits on target and 3 citadels, but mostly been targeting low HP targets, I guess you could say, the Trento, New Orleans, and a little bit of damage on the Gneisenau as it moved out of range. Friendly cruiser now caps the Bravo objective very nicely. And the friendly battleship that was at Charlie holding the line has unfortunately now gone. That means all 4 of the enemy battleships are now free to do as they please. So you've got a Gneisenau to the south, and then we have a Gneisenau and 2 Colorados to the east. And that Colorado is still full HP. Oh, we're spotted. There's the destroyer. It's the Bixka. Got AP loaded, but we do have a friendly cruiser supporting us, so hopefully the cruiser should be able to keep you protected and help. Bixka fires torpedoes on the friendly cruiser. I think it's a New Orleans.
Torpedoes direct front.
No, it's a Pensacola.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Yeah, it's probably best to focus with your main battery on the Bixka. And a nice one there is the way that you turn to port in order to bring your secondary battery online against the Bixka and used your enhanced secondary battery. Looks like the friendly Pensacola has not got long for this world unless he can get himself out of this situation, because it looks like you're going to be taking over the pain train and having to deal with these enemy battleships. Aiming for the upper part of the lower belt, I guess you could say. Getting 6,000 damage on that broadside Colorado. But you gotta be careful here because you got a battleship to your let's see, it would be red 10, I'd say, and then you've got another one on your green 10 as well. Getting assist out on the Colorado.
Problem solved, sir.
So what I'm trying to say is if you're not careful, you might get caught into a crossfire. So that's one of the reasons why I think you've slowed down here and stopped quite nicely. You're keeping the enemies angled against you. Well, angled, you're angling against them, keeping them to your front, and you're backing up a little bit. It's always quite amusing how trolling the accuracy of the Gneisenau can be. Potentially could be using one of those repair parties right now if you wanted. And friendly Nagato Wants to bring all his guns online. Looks like Nagato's taking position on your port side. Again, trying to get it into the lower bout of the Colorado. Doing very well, getting yourself a citadel, taking yourself up to 112,000 damage. Got an incapacitation on your front turret. Used to one of those heals, as I mentioned. The turret that's knocked out is only your rear turret, so there's not exactly any kind of rush to get it back online. It's going to be back online in about 4 seconds anyway. There we go. So now there's just one Colorado and 2 Gneisenauers left in the enemy team. And I think the Gneisenau to the south is very occupied with the forces that are currently chasing him off. I think it's an Ismail and a Letabel. So getting yourself angled against the Colorado. Enemy Gneisenau is behind an iron, so you're pretty safe. 4 overpens on the Colorado, so those shells possibly landed a little high. Not that you aimed high, it's just the dispersion of the German ships, I guess you could say. Again, another overpen. However, getting our port torpedoes away. Secondaries are working them over. Possibly time to activate that enhanced secondary battery. Maybe not. We've got 3 torpedo hits and 2 flooding. He's definitely used his damage gone. And there we go. Sealing the deal. Colorado gone. It looks like B turret's reloaded, so you might be able to get them through. There you go, very nice, getting yourself your 3rd kill. Well, might as well get the cap. There's not much else going on. Enemy Gneisenau seems to be making a break for the corner. I think he wishes he was on another map. So as always, down in the description will be the command build and the ship modules that the submission uses. So pilot guy in this game, he's using Hipper, I think that's Von Hipper. Yes, so that's the standard Hipper, Von Hipper. Level 14, Legendary 2. Traits, Flammable Cannonier, Gyrating Drillbits, Marksmanship, Emergency Specialist, and Will to Rebuild. Inspirations are Cunningham and Kedrov, so it's amusing that he has got almost an accuracy build, and you can still see how trolling the accuracy of the Gneisenau is. Ship modules wise, he's taken Aiming Systems Module 1, Steering Gears Module 2, and Target Acquisition Systems Module 1. Well, with 958 points, it looks like this game is in the bag. They have all 3 caps, they have the ship advantage. So we'll meet you at the end screen after a little bit of Colonel Bogey's March. So here we are at the end screen, and Pilot Guy has managed to get himself 158,000 damage from 34 hits on target and 5 citadels, plus 3 torpedoes, 1 fire and 2 floodings, earning himself 3 kills, 30 secondary hits, and 1 capture, getting himself close quarters expert, Confederate and high caliber. Going on to the team results, and we can see that he has come top of his team with about 1,000 XP more than the next best player on his team, getting 3,257 ship XP. Obviously, that is with 1.5 multiplier for being on the winning team. All in all, I think he definitely pulled his weight, and although it took a while for the game to get going because he was basically dealing with the vegetables, once he got past the Bravo objective, he was really getting to the meat of the game and chomping down on some of those battleships. Going on to the economy tab, and obviously he's managed to make himself a nice pretty penny. He's got a common credit booster which gives him plus 10%, and he's also got premium count at the time of recording, so he's managed to get himself 317,000 credits. Obviously the ship service cost is 114,000 credits, but he's managed to make 300,000 plus post ship service cost. So all in all, he's managed to make himself a nice, decent profit, and he's done a very nice game in the Gneisenau. Although you can just see how trolling some of that accuracy is, even with an accuracy style build. Well, that's Admiralty Reports, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe, and if you are already a subscriber, I'd like to say thank you very much, guys, for your continued comments, contributions, and support for the channel. If you have any of your own game submissions that you'd like to submit for Admiralty Reports like this, or sea trials carded on the end screen, then our email address is down in the description, along with the commander build and the ship modules that Pilot Guy has used during this submission, and also the link to Patreon if you want to support the channel on Patreon, as it is a non-monetized channel. Until next time, I'm the Gareth Major, and back to the port.